Hi, good morning, and welcome to Brunch with Brian, your home investing live stream. And today we're going to talk about our awesome virtual open house. I hope you saw our virtual open house on Saturday, and we're going to talk about that, and you can actually go back and watch that. In fact, I think it's gotten over, I think on Facebook alone it's gotten over 1,600 views. So you really can reach out through the virtual open houses in a way that you never could before the pandemic, because people just really didn't do everything virtually like they do now and be so comfortable with it. So we did a big virtual open house. I'm going to go through the 7 key takeaways, 7 things that you're going to learn on all your virtual open houses, but this one has specific points I'd like to make about how it went and why it went that way and the decisions we made. And hopefully you were with us on Saturday and you enjoyed that open house. Before we jump into that, it is the day after, it's Easter Monday. You know, some people actually get this off school. It's flash drive. Listen, it's go for broke day. And that's what we did on Saturday. We went for broke. Even though the house wasn't really ready, and I usually am kind of a stickler on that kind of thing. The thing about that house, and I will tell you that the thing about that house that got me was that it really could have used just a little bit of work. So sometimes that will get me, and if you can just put a tiny bit of work in, but sometimes you're impatient and you're just going to go for it. So since it's go for broke day, let's do a little affirmation. And plus it's also the first Monday of the month. So you guys know how I am about fresh starts. So it's the first Monday of the month, and that's like the fresh start, even though it's already the 5th, but it's like the fresh start so you can have a great month. So let's say I'm going to have a great month. Okay, 1, 2, 3. I'm going to have a great month. Okay, let's say that one again. I'm going to have a great month. Okay, one more time. I'm going to have a great month. Okay, so we're still early in the month, so let's kick it up and get a great month going here. And Easter it's kind of hard to really marshal a lot of effort on Easter for some folks. We did on that weekend, but you know, there's a lot of people out on Saturday, and so you can make a lot of good progress. All right, so I want to get into the 7 keys to what we had on the open house. And but let's do our deep breathing first, okay? And let's do nice deep inhales. Okay, ready? And a smile. Nice deep. Hold it a sec and okay, loosen up your shoulders. Remember, your physical, having that energy is so much. Did you guys watch? Lynette always has great energy on camera. Okay, another deep breath. A little bit and loosen up your shoulders, your neck, especially we hold a lot of tension in our neck. One more. With a big smile and let it all go. Let all that tension, negativity go. Get a big smile on your face. I'm such a huge believer in smiling. I don't talk about smiles enough. It releases all kind of positive chemicals in your brain and makes you think, why am I so happy? And then you come up with reasons. So here's some lessons from our open house, from a lot of these virtual open houses, but specifically this one. Okay, in this one, number 1, impatience can actually pay off. Okay, so Lynette, you know, my partner is extremely impatient. And so when a house is, available, she wants it to be sold as quickly as possible. And so that's what we try to do. And so we could have chosen to put the work in. We did get an estimate from our contractor. And it depends on how much you want to do as well. Remember, guys, you can go less expensive. You could go kind of cheap carpet and do it fairly cheap. Or you can do the vinyl plank flooring that's going to last forever. Everybody calls it luxury vinyl plank. It's a vinyl plank flooring that lasts really well and pretty indestructible. So when you get the house back, which a lot of times you do, you don't have to keep replacing the flooring all the time. Tile is the same way. You might have to clean the grout but usually tile's pretty indestructible unless you crack one, and then hopefully you got a few spares. Okay, so impatience can pay off. In this case, we just threw it on the market the week we got it, and so, you know, it moved. Now, I will tell you that you need to decide this on every house, and it sort of depends on your patience level at the time, and if your contractor's available, and what kind of bid he gives you, what you think it's worth, you know, right now, and if you just want to move to something else, if you have a lot more going on. And so there's a lot of factors to play into. Should I do it as a work for equity? Should I let it be rough? Should I let there be stains on the carpet? Should I, you know, and maybe it needs a little paint. Actually, I was surprised. I thought the interior was going to be rougher, but the paint was good. The carpet was what really was shot. So, you know, that's one of those where if you go in there and redo the carpeting, maybe that's worth it. But we were already asking like top value, so we were already $20,000 over this estimate. And you know, the people came anyway. So I really don't think on this one we probably made the right call just to move it, as opposed to waiting a week or two and getting it on the market and probably asking about the same thing. And that's probably why the patience pays off in this case, is because we probably wouldn't have, you know, asked a lot more even if we'd spent the money to fix it up. So sometimes though, I will tell you, boy, I'm really hanging on this first point, because it's one of those that's always a big decision point, whether to just put it out there as a work for equity. And you don't say work for equity or sweat equity in there. You say, if it's really a mess, you say handyman special, rent to own, bad credit okay, or, you know, credit challenged okay. If it's kind of rough like the one yesterday, where maybe we can even get away with cleaning those carpets, you know, I mean, so again, if it's sort of rough like that, I don't want you saying handyman special. I want you saying needs. You could say needs a little TLC or needs TLC. You know, maybe needs a lot of TLC, or, you know, if you're even worse, needs work, or, you know, needs some repair, something like that. But we like needs TLC or, you know, handyman special. There is houses in the middle there, but usually that's about it. And now number two is you can definitely sell a house when it's rough. And sometimes people don't believe it. You know, people say, well, boy, that thing doesn't show well. And I did do one zoom in on the carpet, which kind of, you know, you have to accept the fact that, you know, you don't want people to have delusions, so that you never want to have them walking in there thinking it's going to be perfect. You got to at least put that needs some TLC. So, but they definitely sell even if they need work. Number three, post every house you have for sale on all the social media sites. That's just a given, I suppose, I think, but maybe people don't know. There's so many free sites now. We talk about in our social media presentation, and we're going to talk about social media at the summit, the upcoming summit for global publishing. And the social media, there's so many free ways to get it out there. You can spend money on Google and you can spend money on Facebook, but you know, before you do that, why not just put it out there on all the free medias and see if you get enough? Because you're probably going to get way more than you need just from that, all that free stuff, especially when selling houses. So I'm going to tell you that for sure. So post it on all the social media sites: Facebook Marketplace, Nextdoor, 5 Miles, OfferUp, all the social medias, and that should, and then do that live stream. And just when you put that out in the live stream, I want you to use StreamYard. And maybe you guys don't know this, but you're gonna, you know, StreamYard's a pay service, but you'll sign up for StreamYard, and then you can do that live, and it's not just on Facebook Live and YouTube, it's on a bunch of different platforms all at once, and then you can post it to Instagram later, so you can get a lot of people to view it. In fact, we got over 50 people on all across the platforms, people watching it at the live open house, and then we had a lot of hits over time. And so people keep going and looking at it, and you don't close the doors on everybody. You don't say it's all done and, you know, we've seen our last person. You try to drag it out. Now, if you've got some really good candidates and you don't want to mess with them and you don't want to lose them, So you might have to, just say, okay, you guys have it, and move forward with them. But it's always nice to leave the door open as long as you can. And so usually we'll try to say we're going to make the decision within 24 hours or something like that, and or maybe even 48 hours. And sometimes if you really have a lot of close ones, you might even want to do a background check. Now, we do a background check on everybody, even if we pick them, but we usually will pick them and tell them we pick them and then do a background check just as a due diligence. But what's going to come up on their background check? Bad credit? They know, you know they have bad credit. And unless something weird on a criminal history comes up, you're going to move forward with that person. And it really hasn't come up. We've never really had a problem where someone, big bad criminal background came up and we said, sorry, we can't move forward with you. Now, put signs out, post social media always, but also put signs out if you want people coming live. We weren't really encouraging the live because I'm going to get to that in a second, number 5, that we weren't really encouraging live, and it's sort of a balancing act there. You like people to be there live, but it's harder to do a quality virtual if there's a lot of people there, unless you have someone running the virtual and someone can talk to the people, or 2 or 3 people. Okay, so post on all social media sites, put signs out there when you're looking for a lot of people to come in person. The next one, the major challenge, number 5, is that number 4 is follow the steps in our guide. Now, there's a lot of steps to this, and even scripts in that. So remember, if you have our deals at a distance system, you have all the scripts and the steps, or if you have our 1-hour open house system, the scripts and steps are in there. So, and you know what, if you have our 1-hour open house system and you don't have the deals at the distance, call and I'll give it to you for, I can't say I'll give it to you for free, but I'll give it to you for cost, and I'll give you the deals at the distance, because that's got the new virtual open house, and you can tie it in with your 1-hour live open houses. I want you to do that now, pretty much from now on, always be doing a virtual. We never did virtual before, and now we went all virtual for a while. And so now I think the best thing moving forward, as time moves forward, is going to be some kind of a hybrid as people get more comfortable coming live to your open houses. So number 4, you're going to follow the steps in our guide. It's called the Open House Closers Guide and the Open House Greeters Guide. We've got 2 guides there. And then we've got the Virtual Open House Guide, which is really spectacular. I just finished that not that long ago. Okay, so number 5, one of the major challenges is handling people coming and sort of disrupting your virtual presentation. You could see that's an issue sometimes. So you definitely got to have a couple of people who can handle it. 2 or 3 people who can talk to people while somebody else is handling the camera. And so you got to know that going in, that you're going to work it out that way. And one thing that's very helpful for that is have a really long list of benefits or a good flyer. Now, I will tell you that this did get thrown together a little bit because we didn't have a lot of time. We decided to do it like on Friday, I think, and so pretty much we didn't have the normal prep time, which normally I'd like you to have a week. I'd like you to have a week so you can do more marketing and you can get the flyers right and do some more things and maybe do a little more with the house and things like that. So, but if you have a really short window and you're going to be out there, I want you to have this long list of benefits and a flyer, and this can actually be helpful. Pick a couple spots that would be good to just stop and talk, on camera, because you're going to need to fill some time at points, and especially if you've got people wandering through who don't want to be on camera. That's another point. You're going to post some little sign that says you're going to be on camera, but if you have people who don't want to be on camera, then you got to kind of try to avoid people, and that's another tricky proposition. So watch the video and you'll see what I'm talking about more. So always have a long list of benefits, those stuff to talk about, including schools. Now the schools in that area, not the greatest, so you don't necessarily want to hit something that's maybe a questionable benefit, but if you got some legitimate benefits, you can sit there, you have that at your access. I'd almost like you to have the Zillow listing printed so you can, that has some good information in it right there. Okay, and then listen, the last step, number 7, is it's a lot of follow-up. After everybody, it's a kind of a flurry, and a lot of people are on virtual and a lot of people are live, and and you got a lot of applications, and then really it's follow-up. It's all the follow-up steps, not just calling people, especially on a virtual. Remember, a lot of these people have just texted in, so you got a lot of people to follow up with. And so really getting through all the follow-up is more than the 1 hour. So you think, oh, this is a 1 hour open house. And sometimes it is done. I mean, sometimes you got such a clear winner, you still got to follow up because you got a lot of people there to build your buyers list with. So these virtual 1 hour open houses are awesome. We love doing them. And but I think we're going to be starting to do more of a hybrid. So stay tuned for that when we start really putting out the signs and starting doing more live. We're not quite there yet here in Arizona. And you guys, I don't know what your rules are where you're at, but you know, we're going to start to have big live open houses again at some point. The biggest one we ever did, we had 151 people show up for a little townhouse. It was insane. So maybe you guys have seen some of the videos on that. All right, so great. It was another great brunch with Brian. Lots of great information today. And so I will be seeing you tomorrow on Brunch with Brian and every weekday morning. And also tomorrow Teaching Tuesdays, and we're gonna have a great week. Now on Saturday, this is very important, we got our Taking Action workshop. That's this Saturday, and it's gonna be 11 a.m. Eastern time, 8 a.m. Pacific time. That's always an awesome event, and we are going into some really new specific stuff that we have never even covered before, including some stuff about getting people to sign on the bottom line. Some really crucial tips on paperwork and going through the paperwork and what we say. And as you're doing these deals, that's one of the things that sometimes is a scary moment, because if you say the wrong thing, you can blow the deal at a crucial moment, and you can blow the deal by messing up the paperwork. So I'm going to take not a ton of time, but I'm going to go through some really nitty-gritty stuff that you guys really need to know on Saturday. And so everybody is invited. You got to call or text 480-789-3649, and you're going to be everybody who registers early gets a prize. And so please register early. That's 480-789-3649. You can call or text and get registered for that. And we'll see you back here on Brunch with Brian tomorrow morning. So have a great day. Get an open house. Get a house bought so you can have at least, I want you to have at least 3 of these open houses between now and the end of summer. So you got April, May, June, July, and August. And so I want you to have, that's what should be your goal, is 3 nice, great, positive, successful open houses by then. So we will tell you some more information. Maybe we'll talk about this tomorrow on Teaching Tuesday and go through some more of the numbers. But we had a lot of people show up, and we did great and got a really good person in there. So we'll talk to you guys more. I don't have much more time. I don't want to keep you too long. So we will see you tomorrow. Until then, keep expecting success, getting awesome training right here, and taking action. Yes.